at the Bankasa TV for and rather and at the Minister of Justice and Affairs Attorney General Dominic Akotinga Ayine a press conference Trinchi concerning Chairman Ntubosi Akon in the case Eguso Ekoso our year court. No, Chairman His Excellency John Dramani Mahama appointees no. Oh, sorry, His Excellency Nana Danko Gufado appointees no. What Chairman as our arrest him now. Marco face jail big time. Now when is somebody for Odituda. And I've been saying that Sabekaya abroad for the first time or chi ora. On a book in the Furata and Sąck the same thing. And I've been ora. Chairman Ntubosi Akon the same thing. That's not a kwamba for Brony SSrèak case no. No Sąck very similar thing to the Sansana Okan and Radano. Now first no ena so sabe hwe kwabna edubuahin case na no so ka very similar thing oka sentin kwabna edubuahin ewo efim akoma 21 ewo your manga na mu ha na so no ekopiem wo court no tumi fa document and as evidence che say kwabna edubuahin wo efie be say 21 sa evidence wo tumi afa amba abonti amagana ina aswante ana Ghana for so bebre na bi sasentin so ni evidence aba ne say na aba bontin ekwako defamati obi anasa kan ho sempoto ensena fata meanwhile evidence the evidence pa de unkura ba kokra no say owura Domelevo so sa eba bontin gwati interview ona no akasa etu enum tuo editu asentin abra assistant John Dramani Mahama win elections oba abemu apena nkofom wo yoko nkofom wo Ghana Police Service evidence and as reports at the Brennan reports are ebana a draw super na asem to na smart na say mfifimu investigate say reports on the ban are valid and I say valid intini all the evidence some come the Attorney General and as the Minister of Justice and as evidence some come ora kude to ablakwa sana ni na akwakoye atro and as ni na garbage. Now, we pinna ko tie ko woni sesema NDC Domelevo ankasa eka na odituda.
Deputy Attorney General that yes, as far as we just collected data and summed it up, we didn't do any investigation. A preliminary investigation even may show that some of the complaints were just noise. There's nothing in it, but we collected the data as it is, so including the garbage. So if he has taken time to look at it and maybe based upon some preliminary investigation and think it's on the high side, I do not disagree with him.
Did you just use the word including garbage?
Yes, because at times people, in fact, nobody came to us that we turn away and say, yes, we will not take your information. So we collected all the information. Remember, we are not investigating. So when you come, we are not going to say that Mr. Mensah substantiate what you are saying. So you just come and say that I know Mr. Maliba is involved in this, that. The amount is this. We see the document you have and we capture it. Some even came in the form of emails. Some even came in the form of emails. What about if the person is just making it up? Being an experienced auditor, I know that you can even submit documents. And later on, when we test the documents may not have any substance or they may not be authentic.
Quickly, one, we've been streaming on your TV the oral committee visiting properties with cameras following them.
Yes.
That doesn't look like a committee that was just receiving information. Clearly, there it is. So if you say the oral committee was merely receiving information without investigation or evaluating it, that cannot be correct. Indeed, it would very respectfully make absurd the persons that were put together. I don't think that is what the president expected from them. Then they may have misunderstood the president. And so the oral committee in that regard has failed the president, has failed the attorney general, and has validated the position that they were not useful after all. The evidence is clear. Look at the oral committee, moving from properties to properties. What were they doing? It doesn't look like a committee that was merely receiving information, a committee that was inspecting.
But they were not investigating either.
But what is investigation? Investigation is simply verifying information. That is simply investigation. When you receive information, you verify it to determine whether or not it is of utility value.
But if they received petitions of 230, they couldn't have verified all of that.
That is, of course, you have to. Why? You are going to pour everything on the president.
That wasn't their mandate. That wasn't the money they were given.
Why were they visiting properties?
The code that was on the face of it, the code.
To do what? To do what? You are visiting properties. Your mandate was just to receive information, but now you are visiting properties to do what? My brother, let me move on very respectfully to, I think my point is, but let me move on to the...
Ken.
Ken.
I just have 2 minutes, so...
The first point is that when you are involved in any matter, be it the prosecutor or the defense counsel, you build a docket as you go on. And your docket is as it is, anytime it is demanded. In fact, in civil practice, you have clients demanding photocopies of their dockets. And so in criminal practice, the current status of your docket is as it is. And when anybody demands a copy of it, I don't think you should hesitate. Now, the law of the OSP requires, the act, the establishing act, requires that the OSP cooperates with state agencies. I am of the view that it shouldn't have been difficult for the OSP to move to the Attorney General's office, to sit down with the Attorney General and say, this is the status of my docket. There are some information I've received.
So you're describing the work as, that's where the issue is the docket issue. This amount of time is being compiled.
For 2 months. You see?
But he's told you about the development that he didn't anticipate at the time they were writing a letter for.
He doesn't work at the OSP's office.
But I'm sure of my source of information.
The OSP issue a statement. They issued a statement in which they said that they talked about the SML raid.
The Attorney General obviously came out as a frustrated person, true or false?
Today?
No, yesterday, the Deputy Attorney General.
No, it wasn't
I wouldn't say that.
I'm not sure frustrated.
The Deputy Attorney General
he was simply stating what they needed to trigger this extradition process.
If he was not frustrated, he wouldn't have spoken about it.
He was asked the question.
He was asked the question, and what was his answer?
In fact, even today, the Attorney General himself, in his actual written statement, didn't touch on it. Then he was asked that question, and then he repeated the point about...
There's a chronology. You first had elements of this government come out to complain about the frustration of the government in dealing with this. There was Kevin Taylor. Subsequently,
he's an element of the government.
Of course, who doesn't know?
Taylor, how can you say Kevin Taylor is
I am very surprised. I'm very surprised at your position. Who doesn't know Kevin Taylor's role?
Well, I don't.
In respect of, you don't.
No.
Then you are pretending to not know.
Oh, come on.
You are pretending to not know.
Oh,
obviously, you are pretending.
What?
Everybody knows Kevin Taylor's.
I think you withdraw the accusation.
I'm not. You are pretending.
How am I pretending?
Kevin Taylor is a major plank of the NDC government.
Okay, but I don't want to make my show.
I am saying that we don't have time. He is. We cannot.
Okay, but the substantive point is...
The substantive point is that elements of this government, including Kevin Taylor, including spokespersons of this government, we know of them, have been complaining about how the OSP has been dealing with the AG in respect of the Kevin matter. The AG subsequently comes out through the Deputy Attorney General and complains about how for 2 months it has been writing to the Office of the Special Prosecutor for the docket and not receiving it. Clearly, if there had been any update subsequent to or within the 2 months period as to why the docket was not coming, I think the AG would have updated us in that regard. The AG didn't do that. Clearly, there has been a vacuum in terms of cooperation. That is why the AG stated what is stated. In my humble view, from where I sit as a trial lawyer, it shouldn't be difficult for you to make available a docket.
No, but they've explained why the docket is